How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of a Playmakers View. I'm your host, as always, Jamie Burdish. I appreciate you guys joining the show. Today's guest is Spencer Reaves. Spencer is a professional basketball player in Spain. He chose the overseas route after he completed his time at Central Missouri University, or University of Central Missouri, and he's from a small town in Arkansas. And played basketball there, had a very successful high school career, moved on to college, had a successful career there, and he's now playing professional basketball, living out his dream. So you guys are going to get a chance to learn about his story, his message about his passion and going to get things, all that good stuff. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode and get a chance to learn about Spencer and you can watch him play overseas. He's got a website that I'll link below. You guys can watch his highlights and his games, all that good stuff. So without further ado, here we go. All right, so to start things off, Spencer, first off, thank you so much for joining the show. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and what you're up to right now?
Cool, cool. Yeah, no, my name is Spencer Reaves. I am a professional basketball player now in Europe and in Spain. I come from a really small town in Arkansas that no one has ever heard of. But no, I played high school ball there. We were really successful, won two state championships, and then was able to go play college at the Division II level. And now, like I said, I'm lucky enough to basketball is my job right now, so I get to live on a different continent and actually make money, playing a game.
Yeah, so before we get into the overseas, I want to talk to you a little bit about your college experience playing college basketball. What was that like for you? What has that taught you to become the player you are today and the person you are today? So walk me through your journey at CMU and yeah.
Well, so I honestly only had one college scholarship offer coming out of high school. I went to, like I said, a really small high school, so the competition level we played against was never, super super great. So I was a little bit under recruited, I guess you could say, and I went to a school in South Carolina called North Greenville University. It was a D2 school out there. Had a really good freshman year and was able to transfer out after my freshman year. I wanted to get a little closer to home and really get to a school where basketball was, the main priority. So then I transferred to UCM, Central Missouri, about an hour from Kansas City, and yeah, I spent 3 years there. Got to play a lot. First year there wasn't very good record wise, but the next two were pretty good. And college basketball was fun. It was more difficult just because you had to balance that and classes. Um, right now, I just have to worry about hooping and taking care of the job on the court. But no, it was good. I really enjoyed it, and all my teammates, all my coaches, like I have to thank them for being able to be here right now.
Mhm. So I do now want to transition over to the overseas route. One question I have for you is, you're in Spain, so that's probably an interesting transition. So what has that been like for you, away from the court, but the lifestyle? How have you adjusted to that?
Yeah, man, it was weird. It was different. This is my third year here, so it's a little bit more. I understand everything a little bit better. I can understand people a little bit more. I don't speak Spanish fluently or anything, but I can understand and get around. And it was really different from the first year that I came. Like I arrived and didn't know anybody. It's a weird experience going to a different country away from your family, your friends, the people the people you've grown up with, and I go to a place where I knew no one, and I had to make the friends on the team, make the friends off the court. But besides that, the other Americans and the teammates I had made it really easy for me to transition from American life to living in Spain. So luckily, and not all overseas stories are like that, but luckily I had a lot of people in my corner that helped me transition to life in Europe.
Mhm. Yeah, so what made you choose the overseas route? Was there you just wanted to play professional basketball, or was there something else that you just wanted to see the world? What was the reason behind you playing overseas?
Well, and a lot of people don't know everything about overseas basketball, but so like in the US we have the NBA and you have the G League and you have your semi-pro that people may get paid or maybe they just show up and play just because they love the game. I was looking to try to make some money playing the sport, and I come from a D2 school. I'm 6'2", not very athletic. I can shoot and score and things like that, but the NBA and the G League route just wasn't, it wasn't for me. So there's tons of leagues over here in Europe and different in other continents like Asia and Australia and stuff like that. But I now also felt that the European style fit my personality and my game more than like a in the US would. So that was a big choice for me. Leaving your family, friends, like I said, and coming over here. But I've just loved the game of basketball that much, where it was like a sacrifice that I was willing to make.
Yeah, so what's the competition like in that league? Obviously, it's probably pretty competitive. But if you were to compare it to the NBA, what would you say the competition is like?
Um, of course, it's not as good as the NBA. This year is my third year, so the first 2 years I spent in the third division of Spain, and now I'm in the second. But it's really good competition. It's deemed by some the best second division in the world, and it competes with countries like France, Italy, stuff like that. And I mean, we talk about that. We had just signed a new player, but we have two players on our team that have made NBA rosters that have played in NBA games on my team alone. And there are others throughout the league that I know of. And besides that, like if they didn't play in the NBA, they either made the summer league or a summer league team, or played at high major Division 1 schools a lot of times. And you got your D2 guys like me, or D2 guys thrown out, spread out across the league here and there. But the competition level is really good, and you can't go without stating how good Spaniards are at basketball. Like they're probably behind America the best country for basketball. So the local players are really good as well, and it makes the competition that much better.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is your daily schedule there in Spain. Um, you sent me your schedule and it seemed a little bit confusing to me, but I'm sure it's a lot simpler to you. So what kind of things are you doing right now to keep in shape? Are you in season right now? I just want to hear about what you're up to right now.
Yeah, so I got here in September, the beginning of September, and that was like our preseason. We had like a month and a half to get ready for the season, and it started in no, mid October was when our season started. So we usually play one game a week, um, and I mean daily schedule is like what I sent you. Normally 2 days a week, maybe 3 days a week. We'll have two a days where we have maybe weights in the morning, like a physical practice, along with some shooting or maybe some 5-on-0, and then we always come back at night and have like our team practice. Um, the practices go the beginning of the week, your hard physical practices to kind of winding down to get ready, to make sure everyone's healthy and fresh for the game. Normally on the weekends, like Friday or Saturday in some cases, and random cases on Sunday. So, just it's different. I've never really had two a days like the last 2 years. We haven't really had two a days like this, so it's been a change. But it's something you got to do if you want to compete like at this level.
Yeah, for sure. So speaking of competing, I want to ask you one last question. What is your end goal throughout this? Do you have a dream of one day playing in the NBA? Are you doing this just for your passion for the game? At the end of the day, what do you want to say when you call it quits, or when you look back at it in 20 to 30 years?
End goal for me, there's not like something that I'm like just I'm so set on one little thing. I think the NBA is out of the question. Like, a lot of people can dream about being in the NBA. I'm more, and there's nothing wrong with the kids dreaming to be in the NBA. It's awesome. But like when you get around my age or things like that, you realize I lack physical tools to play in the NBA. Like I said, I'm 6'2", not very athletic. Who am I going to guard? if I get, example, if I get switched on Kyrie, like there's nothing in the world that I'm doing. So I'm not going to make an NBA roster. End goal for me is, I just want to play. Um, I play the game that I love. Uh, but I always, like I said, I want to make strides forward, either moving up levels to where you can make pretty good money playing in Europe. And just depending on how my body feels, one day I do want, in the near future, want to have some kind of family. So it's difficult, I'm living over here by myself. Um, but I want to play as long as I can, as long as my body allows me, as long as I'm moving up in levels. And then after that, like I just, I'll stay in basketball and just do some kind of coaching. Like I'll probably at the college level if possible, and just see where basketball takes me. It's taken me I mean, I'm incredibly blessed where the game has taken me so far. So I just want to keep riding that wave, and hopefully it keeps going for a little bit longer. And if not, I'll change over to the bench and into a suit.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's awesome that you're talking about the passion and all that. It's really important that we all follow our passion and do what we love instead of being forced to do something a job that we don't like and all that stuff. So I want to thank you, Spencer, for joining the podcast. I'll link your stuff if that's okay with you. I know you have a website so people can watch your highlights and all that, and kind of check you out and maybe watch a few of your games. So thank you and thank the viewers for joining the show. Hope you guys got a chance to learn a lot about Spencer and his story. We'll be back with you guys next week for another episode.